Yeah, let me be clear. I'm sitting here watching this storm on the U.S. Capitol, and I'm looking at my Facebook feed, and people are talking about how it's white privilege. Do they have any idea that this has nothing to do with race? In fact, it's that call of white privilege. It's that call of trying to call people who are not racist as racist. It's what the left has been doing, the games they've been playing, what the media has been playing, that has caused this. Okay? And they're talking about how, oh, but they're not shooting tear gas and they're not shooting any of these people. But if it was a black person, they would shoot them. You know what? Guess what? Pay attention. Yes, they did shoot tear gas into there. Yes, they did shoot somebody with rounds, pulled out in a gurney, bleeding in the neck, I believe. Almost point blank. So don't talk to me about this being white privilege. This is not fair. When CBLM, because yeah, it is CBLM, and Antifa can have free reign in these cities to do what they want and to cause whatever carnage they want without issue or circumstance, that's privilege. Okay? That's privilege. This is people fighting to take their country back. That's what it is. And I know it sounds extreme. And I'm not saying that Biden didn't win the presidency. Can we be clear about that? I'm not saying Joe Biden did not win the presidency. But if it was a clean election, why not? Why not, instead of disenfranchising half the country, being that which has caused what's happening today, instead of disenfranchising half the country, and if you really wanted unity, Joe Biden, then yes, you would allow, without trying to the different states and the different districts, without trying to block people from doing audits. An audit doesn't change the election. An audit goes in to find any kind of discrepancy. And if there's no discrepancy and you're certain that Joe Biden won, then why? Why is it a big deal? Why disenfranchise half the country? Because you don't want them to check that out. And you don't even want to give ear or give mention to people who say, hey, we have concerns. Because guess what? There are concerns. There are mountains of evidence. And evidence it's not proof, right? Evidence is not proof. It doesn't mean that something happened. But evidence is certainly something that suggests and points to the potential of something much bigger. And as long as you keep avoiding that, and as long as you keep covering that up, and as long as you keep not allowing people to see the data, to either confirm or reject the evidence that we have, including hundreds and hundreds of signed affidavits signed under the penalty of perjury. As long as you do that, you're disenfranchising people. You're doing it deliberately. So they have every reason. They have every reason to storm. Well, okay, I'm going to go back. They have every reason to be there where they are, and they have every reason to make their voice heard. And you have pissed people off through the lies of the media. And that's why I'm doing these series on exposing the lies that have been told, because they are lies. 100% they are lies. For 4 years, you have been painting a man that you loved before all this. You've been painting the man as some evil dictator tyrant when he has shown he's anything but. So, you believe it, for those of you who believe it, because the media told you. But that's because you're too trusting of the media, and for two, you haven't cared to take any time and any effort to collaborate those facts, to see if what you believe actually stacks up to what really occurred. Because all these people that I talked to, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. And you're so passionate and you're so zealous for what you believe, except that it's wrong. So, no, this has nothing to do with white privilege, okay? In fact, if a man was so racist as you claim him to be, we're not even going to talk into whether or not he actually is racist, because those are going to be separate videos. But if he is so racist, why did he almost double the support of the black community from what he had in 2016? Because if in 2016, when he was actually loved by black people, I mean, you saw him with Jesse Jackson and various people, Al Sharpton and people all the time. If he was so awful to the black community, then why 4 years later, after experiencing Trump, would more and more people from that community stand behind him and support him. Even founding a movement called the Walk Away movement, or Blexit. Blaxit. Yeah. Black exit. Yeah. Anyway. But leaving the Democratic Party in order to support Trump. Perhaps it's because he wasn't that bad. And a lot of stuff that you don't like him for is because it hurts your feelings. It's because it hurts your feelings. You know? Call it for what it is. So, for those people saying that everything happening in the Capitol is white, because I've seen comments saying it's white privilege. I can't believe white people can get away with this. I can't believe. Do you see that they're not burning things down? Do you see that people, they walked in, look at other people's live feeds. They weren't going around smashing buildings and pulling over statues and destroying parts of cities and buildings. It's ridiculous. It's like you live in an alternate reality to where you can't really see what's happening. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll see what comes about from this. But it just had to be said. No. It has nothing to do with race. It only has to do with race when you have to see race in everything. You have to. It's like you can't help it. You have to see race in everything, no matter what race. Somebody walks by and they smile at you. Racist! Somebody walks by and they don't smile. Racist! Knock it off. Doesn't always have to do with race. And the ignoring of almost a year of rioting and looting and making excuses for it. And people dying. Oh yeah, somebody got shot in Portland by somebody in CBLM. So, and the violence and the beating, you did not see that coming from the right. And don't bring the Proud Boys into this. The Proud Boys were not going around destroying buildings. They're not the ones that were going places trying to find and hunt people down. When they showed up to do their own thing. Antifa came and found them and would confront them. So let's get the facts straight, okay? What you hear in the media, go back to the original sources and look at this stuff. Maybe it's good. Maybe it'd be good to actually know what's really going on.